So, as we've been reporting this morning, it's nearing its end now. That's Prime Minister Anthony Albanese's trip to China. It's nearly a week, so it was a decent one in the end. What did he get out of it? Well, let's ask Cheng Lei, our own Sky News host here. It's good to see you, Lei. So let's throw it over to you. What are your reflections on the week that was in China?
Well, it's been quite surreal, as you can imagine. 2 years ago at this time, I would have been still in the cell and only finding out that there's been a visit from what's on the state news. And it might have been quite a shock to see, such a friendly visit if I was still there. And I'm not sure that Dr. Yang in jail would be getting some of the footage, but certainly the content, the tone, and the duration, it's all very warm and fuzzy, and that feels quite. I know it is reciprocal, but as I said, only 2 years ago I was still there, and Dr. Yang is still there, so it does feel quite strange. Having said that, we are realists, and we can't scapegoat the Prime Minister for wanting to prosper our trade relations. We all want better standards of living, and we all benefit from trading with China. But let's not forget the pain of the trade sanctions and what happened to people exchanges.
You mentioned Dr. Yang Hengjun. I mean, he's there under different circumstances from how you were picked up, and there does not appear, at least publicly, to be any real urgency from both parts to let him out. Is that the vibe you're getting?
It is, of course, every case is different and complicated, and I'm sure the consular officers are doing all they can to visit, and if our viewers would like to write to him in encouragement, I urge you to do that. But it is also mostly, or all of it, is about how vengeful China is towards an individual. And this is where our fundamental difference lies, that China, with all its might and its vastness, its strong economy, can feel it needs to do things to individuals for what? This any perceived slight to the state or the party. And that's its insecurity. And it also shows that it does not care for individuals. They are just cogs in the wheel and dispensable. And this is where we have to be really, really cool-headed and clear-eyed and not drink the Kool-Aid, because it's all too tempting otherwise for our business people especially.
So we can expect, I think we can expect more live-fire drills in our region. I think that's what's come out of this meeting, and the Prime Minister, to his credit, brought it up and said, can you at least give us a heads up next time you do it so we can prepare and we don't have to rely on commercial airlines letting us know what's going on. And Xi Jinping, according to reports, said, no, we'll be right. We'll just continue doing as we please, as it's doing to other countries in the region, such as Taiwan, such as Philippines, Vietnam, etc. It happens often. So is that a truer picture of our friendship at the moment? That it's like
there is no friendship.
As long as we're long as we're obedient,
Yes, and that's where the power dynamic is these days, and that's how global geopolitics are playing out. But why we are spending, for example, 6 days in China and not doing other visits in the region, not going to South Korea and Japan, and why are we not meeting, for example, dissidents and activists in the Beijing embassy? Because one thing I've been told by those who have escaped China is that while they used to have to go and brief, for example, time after time, Angela Merkel at the German embassy, whenever she visited, and other embassies in Beijing, they never got such invitations from our embassy. And I get it, we are the most China trade dependent middle power, but does Australia know how China really is? Because we do have a lot of people who are still naive and think we should go back, because when I watched all the footage of the visit this week, it just all harked back to, the early, the teens, the 2013, 2014 period, when everyone was just so enthusiastic and yes, naive about China. And surely now we aren't. We can't. And
Okay.
I would have liked, sorry. Going over time as usual.
No, that's okay. It's always interesting to get your thoughts. I just don't feel like there's any urgency on the doctor, on both parts, actually. So that's not to say something might be going on behind the scenes. I'm sure it is, but at least not publicly. Anyway, Lei, it's good to see you. We'll chat to you again soon.